Today we're gonna learn how to create this awesome 3D text effect in Photoshop. You're gonna love it. Okay, first I open my background image in Photoshop. You can find the link of this image in the description below. By the way, I've set the dimensions to 3000 by 2000 pixels, but if you're using a different size, it doesn't matter much, just some of the adjustments would be different. So first I press T key to pick up text tool and write my text. Also, I've linked the font that I'm using in the description. Now I press Ctrl T keys to transfer my text layer and adjust its size, then hit enter. Now Ctrl A to select the whole canvas and V key to pick move tool. With these buttons, I center it horizontally and vertically. Then Ctrl D to deselect the selection. Now I'm going to trace my text with pen tool. For this, I zoom on my text, then press P key to pick pen tool and start to draw a path in the center of the text. Just like this. I know it's hard for a lot of you guys to work with pen tool, but believe me, it's a lifesaver. Actually, you can watch my previous video, which is a pen tool tutorial, to not just learn it, but master it in no time. Anyway, I'm gonna continue tracing the first letter. For the end of the letter, I want to continue the path to connect it to the next letter by adding one more circle. You can turn text layer on or off for better visibility. I think that's okay. Now go to the paths panel. Here you can see the path you created. Double click on its name and give it a name. You're just saving the path by giving it a name. Then from down here, click on this button to create a new empty path layer. Now start to trace the next letter. You're gonna have separate paths for each letter. In some parts, I don't follow the text and try to make the path similar to real handwriting as much as possible. Again, after finishing the path, go to the paths panel and give your path a name to save it. And notice that paths can't have similar names. Then a new path and trace. For the next one, since it's the same letter, I'm going to pick Path Selection tool and select my path, then press Ctrl C key to copy it and paste it in a new path layer. Next, I pick the ellipse tool from here and create a circle slightly bigger than my text, but you can have a different size, it's all up to you. I'll go with 60 by 60. Now double click on the shape layer to open layer style window. First I will give it a gradient, so I turn it on. This is going to be the color of your text. You should make it look like a sphere with gradient. For this, I'm going to set the style to radial, adjust the positioning to the top left corner, then add the color I want. I want some purplish red color, so light red for highlight, dark purple for shadow, and some purple or pink for midtones. I'm gonna increase the size. Okay, that's it for the gradient. Oh, and I have reverse checked here and yours might not be. It would just change the position of the colors, not important. Then turn on bevel and emboss and apply settings like this. Style, inner bevel, technique smooth, increase depth and size. Then down here, increase the opacity for highlights and shadows to see the effect. Then adjust the depth and size again to get results like this. Angle of the light is the same as our gradient. Then open gloss contour and select this guy. Notice that the blend mode of the highlights is set to vivid light and for the shadows it's set to color burn. Then turn on the contour and change the contour to cone inverted. Check this checkbox and set range to 100. Now just final touches and then OK. Your shape should look like this at this point. Then I press Ctrl J to make a copy of my shape layer and double click on it to open layer style window again and turn off the contour for this one and click on OK. I just need highlighted side of this one, so I press Ctrl G to put this layer in a group, then apply mask to group. Invert the mask with Ctrl I keys, and with the brush tool and white color I paint on the areas that I want to be shown, which is this area. I don't want that little dark edge. Okay, now select both these shapes and copy them with Ctrl J, then press Ctrl E to merge them together and hide bottom layers. The hard parts are almost over. Now pick Mixer Brush Tool by right-clicking on Brush Tool and selecting it from here. Adjust the size of the brush to be slightly bigger than your ellipse. Then from up here click on these two buttons, which are load the brush after each stroke and clean the brush after each stroke, to activate them. Then click on this drop down menu and select dry heavy load. And set wet to 0, load to 100, flow to 100, and also smoothing to 100. Then select the circle layer, bring your brush to the center of the circle, then hold Alt and click. Now your shape is loaded to the brush and you should be able to see it up here. Now we're gonna apply this brush to the paths we created earlier. For this, create a new layer and name it after your first letter. Then go to the paths panel and select the path for first letter. Press P to pick up pen tool, right click on the path and select stroke path. Make sure the mixer brush tool is selected as tool, then click on OK. Now we're gonna repeat the process for all of these letters. Create a new layer, rename it, select its path, right click with pen tool, stroke path and OK. For the second E, I'm just going to copy the first one. And that's it. I'm gonna hide this circle and deselect the path. And also hide the text layer. Then I will mask these unwanted parts of the letters. Add mask to the layer and paint with black regular brush. Now I'm going to group these layers, make a copy of it and press Ctrl E to merge them into one layer. Then go to Filter menu and from Stylize, select Diffuse and last item in the new window. This filter will smooth the text a little and delete visible brush strokes, as you can see. Okay, at this point our work is done, but I'm going to take some time and add some shadows and highlights to the text to make it look more realistic and beautiful. For this I create a new layer, then make selections with pen tool in the areas I want to add shadows. Then with a large soft brush, just tap a few times to add some shadows. Just like this. Then hold Alt key and click between the shadow and text layer to limit the shadows to the text only. Now repeat the same for all of the letters. Also, I set the blending mode of the shadow layer to multiply and decrease its opacity to make it more subtle. Okay, after adding shadows, I'm also going to add some highlights to make the text more shiny and glossy. It's almost the same process, just in a new layer and with the white color and on the areas that catches light. And that's it, here's your sweet text effect. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new from this video. Now it's time to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And you know you can ask all of your questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like and see you in the next video.